Hi everyone, welcome back to Rich's Garage, and this is a continuation video on weathering. These are the decking plates for the lowboy trailer, and so I messed them off on the back, and I put water, and I had a salt grinding mill, and I put a lot of salt on. So I went heavy, just the kind of the way it turned out. And I'm going to go now paint this, and we'll see how that comes out. And after it dries, I'll come back and we'll scrape some salt off and see what's left. I can always go back and spray some more paint after the fact, but I figure let's go heavy first, and then I'll see how it all turns out. So I'm going to pause this here, and then I'll go paint this, and after it dries a day or two, I'll come back and we'll see what it looks like. Hello everyone, we're back after letting the paint dry for several days. Here's what this looks like right now. You can see the salt is embedded with the paint, and this is stiff bristle brush. Let's see what happens when I try to start taking this off. It's starting to come off. So I have a lot of work to do here to get this off. And then we'll get a stiffer brush. So I'm going to continue on scrubbing away, and then as I get these cleaned up, I'll come back to you, and then we can all take a look at it. Alright, what I found was the easiest technique is to just use my thumb to take this off. But this is what this looks like. So that's pretty interesting. Let's try this. So all I do is I took my thumb and rocked it back and forth. And that seems to be a much better way of getting the salt off of this. It goes a lot quicker. What I did on this piece was I just lightly misted the color green to see what that would look like as far as like the rust was coming through. So that's why I have that mist. That's going to be hidden anyway when I glue it onto the trailer, just the way the trailer is constructed. That goes up, that's the top over the fenders, or actually becomes the fenders. Alright, let's keep going here a little bit. Getting the majority of it off of my thumb. Come in here, scrub a little bit. And using the bristles actually gives it a little scratching effect on the paint as well. Actually blends this from what I can see here a little bit. Alright, I'm going to finish these up and then I'll come back. I'm back again. What I wanted to do is show you how well adhered this salt is to the plastic with the paint. I didn't want to have a tight grip and be holding on to this finished surface on the back, my wood decking. So after I took off the majority doing it this way, just holding the edges of the piece, you see how there's a fair amount still left. I took a triangular metal file, and just using the tip, lightly went back and forth. Actually, not firmly, I should say, not really lightly, but not so much that I'm digging off any more of the paint I have to. And if it puts a couple of scratches in, so what, right, I'm weathering it. But this was the best way. You can see how it's shooting salt all over the place to chip away. at the salt that's really well adhered. Again, I'm barely putting any pressure on in the downward motion because I don't want to take the paint off. I just want to break the salt free. Then coming back, just give it a little scrub with the brush. Get my hand. And that's giving me that. So it certainly looks well, you know, given a weathered look. I'm going to come back and then use the chalks and the oil paints, and we'll see what this winds up coming out to be. But so far, it's been an interesting journey on my first salting here. But I don't think I'm going to really know if I'm full bore into this until I put some paint on here. All right, that's it for now. Next time we'll be putting some paint on here, and what I'll probably do is I'll do one. Or maybe several, and then I'll leave one and show you how I actually applied the paint to one. Welcome back to Rich's Garage, everyone, and as you can see, I started to put some paint down on these panels that were salted. So this is a finished piece, and you can see there's some texture on that. So the finished ones will look something like that. This one I did a little bit on. I'm going to continue on it, and I'll show you a little bit of that. And then this is what we're starting with. This is just the salt, rubbed off. And let me show you what paints I use. Get these out of the way. So there's a few primary colors that I use: raw sienna, burnt sienna. You can see these tubes will last a very long time. A little bit of burnt umber, but this is a darker color, you'll see. And I even put a little blue in, and you'll see how that shows up, just to give a little variation in tone. And then other rusting colors that, or weathering colors that I've used, different blends. So yellow ochre, here's an orange, and a red. And then of course we got gray, white, and black. So with these you can pretty much weather anything you want. This is the cup from the earlier videos, and you can see how that winds up manifesting itself. So here's a little palette. So it doesn't take a lot of paint, because that's all the paint I used to do this other little one. And then there's, I like these little soft applicators for dabbing and stuff. Use a brush. With this you don't have to thin it too much. So all I do is, and I'll just do a little bit so you don't go crazy, but before I do, I'm just show you a little bit of the thought behind it. So you can see how the red primer comes through, and you can just use that as a chip, right? I guess it depends whatever you want to do. The darker areas would simulate older rust, and then I go lighter for more of a fresh scale rust, like this very light orangey looking color here. So what I'll do is open this up, and then I just stab it with a toothpick and get a little bit out. Like I said, it doesn't take too much. Let's throw that down there, and let's just do a little bit of rusting. So for the first go around, just a little bit on the end, and then pick a spot. Let's see, we'll do it up here. If I can get up here. Let's see this little different angle, but this is really about it. So if you want a lighter rust, you do that. If I come in here and I see this a little bit darker, I want to lighten it up a little bit. Just little bits and changes the character of it. So same thing for the other covers. I guess there's nothing that's so earth-shattering about this, and you really can't make a mistake. It's just try it and you get into your own groove, and then that's about it. But you see how this is a darker, simulated darker rust, and I don't worry about mixing and matching. Just there's no need to keep using different ones. You can just dip your applicator in, whether it's a brush or whatever. You see how that gives it a little bit darker, and if it's too dark, then I just go over it with something lighter. If I think I have a little bit too much paint, I just blot it. And by doing this little tapping thing, you will get the texture from the oil paint. So a little bit hard for me to see exactly what this is looking like at this angle, but I think you get the idea. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up all these panels I have to rust, and then I still have to do the weathering on the trailer itself before I can put these panels on. So I just wanted to give you that little quick look, and next time you see us, hopefully we'll be further along and closer to finishing up this lowboy trailer. Alright guys, take care. Bye.